Prince Harry's appearance on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert was meant to be a promotional stop for his memoir Spare, a book that had already stirred global headlines with its candid revelations about royal life, family rifts, and personal struggles. The stage was set for a lively, perhaps cheeky, exchange between the Duke of Sussex and the quick-witted host known for his sharp humor and incisive questions. The audience buzzed with anticipation, expecting a mix of charm, introspection, and maybe a few light-hearted jabs about Harry's royal exit. Colbert, ever the showman, welcomed Harry with his signature grin, setting a tone that seemed playful yet probing. But as the conversation unfolded, an unexpected tension simmered beneath the surface, hinting at a clash that would later be described as a heated exchange. The interview began with Harry discussing his book, recounting moments of vulnerability like his experience with frostbite and his strained relationship with Prince William. Colbert, seizing the moment, teased Harry about the memoir's more sensational details, like the infamous Todger anecdote, which drew laughs but also a flicker of discomfort from the prince. The crowd lapped it up, but Harry's body language stiffening slightly, his smile tightening suggested he wasn't entirely at ease with the direction. As Colbert pressed on, asking about Harry's views on The Crown, the Netflix series dramatizing his family's saga, Harry admitted to watching and fact-checking it, a revelation that sparked both amusement and curiosity. The exchange was still cordial, but the air shifted subtly when Colbert veered into more sensitive territory, questioning Harry's decision to air royal grievances publicly. Harry defended his choice, emphasizing the need for honesty to heal personal and familial wounds, but his tone grew sharper, his words more deliberate. The audience, sensing the shift, quieted slightly, as if bracing for something more intense. Colbert, never one to shy away from a hot topic, leaned into the moment, asking pointedly about Harry's relationship with King Charles and whether reconciliation was possible. Harry's response was measured but firm, hinting at private efforts and a desire for space without divulging too much. The conversation, now teetering on the edge of confrontation, saw Colbert push further, suggesting that Harry's public disclosures might deepen the royal rift rather than mend it. Harry's eyes narrowed, his voice steady but laced with an edge, as he countered that silence hadn't worked either, referencing years of media leaks and betrayals. The crowd murmured, caught between admiration for his candor and unease at the escalating intensity. What began as a promotional chat was morphing into something rawer, with Harry's passion for his truth clashing against Colbert's knack for stirring the pot. The first signs of the heated exchange emerged as Harry, visibly frustrated, leaned forward, his gestures more animated, emphasizing that his story wasn't just about royal drama but about human struggle, grief, mental health, and finding freedom. Colbert, sensing the moment, dialed back slightly, tossing in a joke to lighten the mood, but the undercurrent of tension remained. The segment closed with applause, but whispers of a clash began circulating online, fueled by clips of Harry's intense expressions and Colbert's sly provocations. Social media erupted, with some praising Harry's authenticity and others accusing him of losing his cool under pressure. The interview, meant to sell books, had instead sparked a firestorm of debate about loyalty, privacy, and the cost of speaking out. As the interview gained traction online, body language experts and royal watchers dissected every moment, zeroing in on what they called Harry's loss of control. Judy James, a noted analyst, spoke to the Mirror, pointing out how Harry's demeanor shifted from relaxed to tense when the crown came up, his hands clenching briefly as he navigated questions about fact-checking a show that portrayed his mother's death. The discussion had started lightly, with Harry joking about the series' dramatizations, but Colbert's probing about whether it felt exploitative hit a nerve. Harry's response that he watched it to understand how the public saw his familia was diplomatic, but his tightened jaw and quicker blinks suggested discomfort. Fans on X were divided, some saw Harry's intensity as passion, others as defensiveness, with one post calling it the moment Harry realized Colbert wasn't just playing for laughs. The exchange grew spicier when Colbert circled back to Spare, asking if Harry regretted any revelations, like the story of a physical altercation with William. Harry's reply was steely, he wrote to clarify, not to wound, and the truth was his to tell after years of media distortions. Colbert, sensing an opening, quipped about whether truth was a luxury the royals could afford, a jab that drew gasps and scattered laughs. Harry's retort was swift, pointing out that the monarchy's silence had fueled tabloid lies for decades, a cycle he refused to perpetuate. The audience, caught in the verbal volley, seemed torn between cheering Harry's boldness and cringing at the rawness. Offstage, producers reportedly noticed the shift, with one later telling a tabloid that Harry's team looked visibly tense as the interview veered off script. The conversation took another turn when Colbert asked about Meghan, prompting Harry to soften briefly, calling her his favorite smell in a nod to a lighter Colbert questionnaire segment from a later appearance. But the warmth was fleeting when Colbert suggested that Meghan's influence might have driven the memoir's candor. Harry's smile faded. He insisted the book was his story, not hers, and that their shared goal was authenticity, not sensationalism. The exchange wasn't shouting match heated, but the intensity was palpably. Harry's voice rose slightly, his gestures sharper, as he defended his wife and their choices. Online, clips of this moment went viral, with hashtags like #HarryColbertClash trending. Some viewers praised Harry for standing his ground, while others felt he'd been baited into showing a temper. The Express reported that Harry's team later downplayed the heated narrative, insisting he'd handled it with grace, but the story grew legs, fueled by slow-motion analyses of his furrowed brow and clipped tone. By the next day, tabloids were framing it as Harry being kicked off the show, a hyperbolic take given the segment aired in full, but one that stuck in the public imagination. 3. The fallout from the